Taking no shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Mute off. Yeah, give me another round of applause for that. That's a lot. Spontaneous combustion, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast. Oh, I ain't even get the banner up. I'm saying. Again, y'all see at the bottom, Chiron, episode 97 of Taking No Shorts podcast. I'm your host, Jay Grizzy Green, aka Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone. AKA Wanda's son, AKA Jenna's grandson, AKA that guy's dad. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. Also, anywhere, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, all at Taking No Shorts Pod. That's spelled TakinNoShortspod. It's a lot to spell, but if you know, you know. All right, let me go ahead and introduce the participants of episode 97. I am going to first start with my firstborn. He is known on IG as Jay Savior, right? He is also a LA Rams fan. And he's pulling so hard for that other team Sunday night. I don't know what to say. Ladies and gentlemen, my firstborn, my righteous son, Jeremiah. What's up, Mikey? What's up with McGrady?
Well, I could go into a long story about that, but I won't.
Did I buy it?
No, so I made a long story short. My cousin Brandon, when I moved back from Germany, had a McGrady jersey. My favorite color is blue, and then I started watching his games. I couldn't get swingman jerseys back in the day because y'all didn't get them from me. So as an adult, I'm gonna buy them.
First of all, so if we all make up, is the swingman the was the swingman the legitimate jersey?
No. Authentics is 300. Swingman's was like 120.
So what we get you?
Replicas. So
be on kids, man. It be on kids.
Holding me out. Hey, I did what I best I could.
That's all they had at the swap meet.
Yeah, that's all. I will shop at the swap meet. Thank you, Mikey. You ready?
Absolutely.
Episode 97.
Absolutely.
Next, to this side of me, I used to call him the light-skinned Alpo. Oh, why am I clapping for that? Why am I clapping for that? But he is now, and by the way, if y'all see us tapping our head, it's a very warm day, the week of Juneteenth. So,
But I still represent.
Yeah, he's still, also, he's got on the Dookie chain. Look, he's standing up. Look at his outfit, though. They just look at him.
That's right.
Look at his outfit.
That's right.
You can't look. When the team, Marcus, we know because we used to it. When teams win Super Bowls that ain't used to it, we understand. They ain't never been there.
Give it up, America.
Yeah, give it up.
Nothing but.
I remember going to his house back in your parents' house.
Yeah.
And you had the pennants, football pennants, baseball pennants. You had a pennant in your room. And I was like, what's that? And he was like, I'm a Rams fan. I said, how the fuck you get it?
You would thought I told that motherfucker I was gay or some shit.
I said, why you over here represent? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a friend of mine since, I want to say 7th, 8th grade, back when Keith Sweat was hot, pause, T-Fine Tim Smith.
Thank you.
Make it last forever. Ever. those are the good old days, right?
Damn right.
Me and Tim was just talking about he he's not camera shy, but he probably ain't used to looking at the camera. Like the camera's right here,
Yeah.
but he looking over there, and he's like, "Damn, Jay, you grayed out."
Yeah. I was like, I hate your fucking camera, man. It
At
tells
least
the
I got
truth.
good equipment.
It tells the truth. The camera don't lie. Shit.
And I said, "Man, look at me. We both great." Last but not least, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. You know I love you.
Anytime, love you too.
Last but not least, a fellow podcasting brethren. No, that's the wrong drop. Because you don't like too many drops when you're introducing. You got to get it right when you're introducing them.
Exactly.
But 25 years I've known this man. We've been wrestling buddies.
Exactly.
We've been podcasting partners.
Exactly.
And most of all, he has been a dear, dear friend and confidant.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the yogi himself, Mr. Marcus J.
What's up, fellas? Good to see y'all, man. It's good to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Mr. Yogi, you was out in the driveway. What was that, Tai Chi?
No, I was stretching
That's what you call it.
and dancing.
That's what you call
I was dancing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's dancing.
But sometimes I dance to the music that's still left in my brain from earlier.
Exactly.
wrong with that.
That nigga's tripping.
I do the same, Marcus. I'm not
Thank
gonna lie.
you.
Hey,
Thank
nothing
you.
wrong with that.
I was literally at work yesterday, and Duel of the Iron Mike was playing, and I started reciting it, and the dude beside me was like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Just let me have this moment, bro. I'm good. We good. And then you spit the joint, right?
I did.
And you felt better when you was done, didn't you?
did.
My
I
brother.
did.
See?
Jay did the same thing last week when he was listening to YMCA. It's the same.
Well, all right, so we going there. Why are we not, as Gen Xers, and I know, Mikey, you may or may not, but why are we not giving the village people their props? Like they didn't put down, y'all gonna disagree?
the only song I know from the Village People is YMCA. So
I mean, they got Macho
David
Man too.
and Macho Man, yeah.
So those are the three songs. I mean, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
That's honest. All right, so put it. All right, let me say
You
this.
trying to tell us something?
Did you? No, I'm not.
It's sad. Just you and Donald Trump, the only two people I know.
That Trump dance.
that should be annoying when I see that mess, man.
God damn.
You got me feeling like,
Oh my
breaking the way I
God, yo,
dance
that
today,
joint is robotically hilarious.
You know he counting.
When
Oh my God.
when the song came out, late 70s disco era, we all, Jaren, you was just you wasn't but it's okay.
Disco was big.
Disco was big, and we didn't know. I didn't know that a grown ass man walking around with a loincloth on down Times Square was gay. I had no clue, and I really didn't give two compots. I didn't. Did you know at 7 or 8 when you saw the video for In the Navy?
My dad told me.
Well, Dad, this is why you should have been around me. You could have said, "Hey, that's not something you could have done." All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you. 97 episodes in. I told somebody, I didn't post it, but I was thinking to myself during the week, close to 100 episodes, and it's really not even 97. There's so much stuff that's been left on the cutting room floor that didn't make it to the world. So, but just for the world, this is 97. So I hope, I want y'all, before we go, whether you record anything now or later for the 100, because that's a big milestone for me. I didn't think I would have 100 sane episodes of Taking No Shorts podcast with Jay Grizzly Green, thanks to my mama.
That nigga's tripping.
Thank you, mama.
Just say the word, man.
Yeah,
Just say
I
the
appreciate
word.
it. Let me get into it. So, short of Jared, we are all Gen Xers,
Exactly.
Black Gen Xers, and we are. I know, Mark, we did your birthday a couple years ago at your crib, and it was a beautiful birthday. Did you know you were having that party, by the way?
I planned it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got the invite.
Yeah. I mean, it was a shared party from when I turned 50 and my daughter turned 21. So
That's right.
we had a shared party, exclusive guest list, So
It must have been because I ain't get the invite shit.
You know,
We came to your. I knew it is.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, what I'm getting at is everybody. And Jaren, I don't know because you may not know. I don't know if you know this. I was talking to my wife about this the other day. As parents, right? As Gen X parents, the first child or the child that you have, I don't think you're the same parent that how old your child is that you is now. You know?
Yeah.
So me and my wife was in the kitchen talking. I wasn't cooking. That doesn't mean that wife's supposed to be don't come under the comments and me saying that wife's supposed to be and women supposed to be in the kitchen. But I was just like, I'm not the same person as I was when my middle son was born or when my oldest son was born. I am changing, and I can feel it. I mentally, and I'm aware, and I can physically feel it. So I wanted to talk to you guys about, as black men, being Father's Day was last Sunday, a week away, a week in the past, and we've gotten to this stage in life where I don't know if the enlightenment happened everything happened for me late. So I just wanted to expound on, was there a moment as you were coming up as a parent where you said, I'm not the same person or dad I was when the child was born into the world? Whoever want to take that first, go ahead.
Yeah, I take it. Number one, as long as you're not the same person you was, whether it was 10 years, 15 years ago, you shouldn't be. Because if not, then that's a waste of fucking down 10, 15 years of your life.
I gotta edit all that fucking shit you talking about.
if you're not changing or evolving and trying to become a better person,
Yeah.
So as far as me, I started changing when I noticed little boys really starting to notice my daughter.
Well, that would do it.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I was like, okay, look, the first instinct as a dad, you want to just choke the little bastard, or at least walk by them and pluck them, on the ear just to make them cry, and then the parents turn around, what happened? I don't know why your son crying, but as my daughter gotten older, she just left for Penn State. Love you, Tamia. Proud of you. I've gotten softer over the years.
I wouldn't use the word softer.
Well, because I used to be a hardliner where, you know what, this is it, damn it, and that's it, but now I've learned to listen to her a little bit more because Daddy is not always right. I want to be right, but sometimes I'm not always right. So I will at least hear her side of it. But when she was younger, I didn't want to hear her side. It's like, I don't care what you said. This is what you did. This is what you meant. But now, I've gotten a little bit, easier, on that. I mean, she's only 18 now. So
a couple of words I want to pick out, and I want to give it to Marcus, but I want to come back to softer and learn. So Marcus, same thing posed to you because I know you. I know your daughter, and we are similar in age. Are you the same dad as you were when your child was born as today? And how was that process? What did you learn, or how did you grow in that?
Well, I think for me, it's evolution of me as a man, and less of me as a father. Like, I'm playful with her. I'm transparent with her. I'm one with words with her. We speak. We talk. When she was a baby, I made her learn certain rules, personal rules that she would have to recite on site. And, it was me teaching her how to talk while at the same time teaching her, things that were she was responsible for even at a young age. And so even now, she's 22, and I'm an empty nester. She just moved out last month, right?
Well, that's clap for that. That's a big deal.
She did her undergrad at home, and now she's in grad school away.
Yeah.
So I still talk to her. I talked to her right before I came here.
Yeah.
So as far as me and my personal changes, I started changing in around 2019. That year I turned 45. Early that year, my eye doctor told me, things are going to change. The eye doctor. So I'm thinking that she's telling me about the eyes, because she looked at me with the eyes big, like, I'm not just talking to you.
Oh, she hit you with some wisdom.
She just hit me with wisdom. As a sister, about 20 or so years older than us. So it was just par for the course how we would, converse when I was there.
Yeah.
It was just something about how she spoke to me then.
Mm.
I discovered yoga about 6 months later, and then a few months after that, COVID hit. I had some other stuff I'm not sharing in this conversation, and then
this is where you go viral.
And then in 21, I'm not going to. And then in 21, because I'm retired, because so I don't have to go viral. You could go viral. I don't have to go viral.
Right.
But then in 21, January 6th happened. Anybody that knows me knows that profoundly changed me. So, it just changed my outlook on life. I don't worry about things that I used to worry about, quite as fervently anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fortunate because I have my parents, and it's a trip because I would have to go visit them in New Jersey. And when I call home and say, hey, I'm coming home next week, I'll be home in a few days, I would imagine they'd be excited to hear that I'm coming home. I'm excited to come home and see them. But I didn't ever really recognize how excited that they would be that I'm coming home until my daughter called me a few days before Father's Day to tell me that she was coming home. And I was like, word, you coming home? So I had to I had to no sell it, But, once this conversation was over, I was like, word, and then it hit me. Like, this is how Miles and Pops feel when I come home. It's been 30 plus years. And every goodbye is certainly more difficult than the last one because I'm older, which means they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm living in the midst of full circle moments. They're abounding all over.
I think, especially in America, they call that middle age.
Absolutely.
Because we no longer can be in these streets like we used to be, and
we be unwise.
Yeah, we're being wise. And at the same time, our children will let us know that you're not a YN. So, Mikey, I throw it to you, Jared. I throw it to you.
I just learned what that meant.
I had to know
I'm in unk category now, so I'm not a
YN. So speaking of which, you're a millennial. You're there now, and we're 17 for the record, ladies and gentlemen. We're 17 years apart. So what is it like to be brought up by me, and you could speak on this, but in any way you want to, but have you seen any difference in the older folks around you as opposed to, and now that you coming into a certain stage in your life? Like, are you seeing any differences in how you coming up?
Just perception and just based off alone. You and my mom have switched places. When I was younger, you don't take this wrong. No. When I was younger, you was the cool pops. I was like, I got the best dad in the world. Still got the best dad in the world. It's like, I got the best dad in the world. Everybody, I wanted to show them off whenever you would come places. I remember you came to see me in Germany. We watched Pokemon. And I was like, my mom is just the evil queen from goddamn Sleeping Beauty.
Hey, that's what's not coming out of my mouth.
She's magnificent. And now that I'm older, you are more, she's more laid back now. And you're more, what are you doing? Are you all right? Are you taking care of yourself? And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What's going on? And I realized that that's because, one, you're getting older, which means, of course, I'm getting older. But our health as Black men, we got to make sure we get that in the bud. You're always on me about that now, even though I push it off, even though I'm starting to realize, like, okay, I'm in my mid-30s. I need to start taking my health a little bit more serious if I want to be here when I'm 90. So I think you're a little bit more protective of me now than you were when I was younger.
Yeah, I am.
So, hey, Jake,
that's such a prideful thing for me to hear you say about your father. I don't know how you feel about saying it. You just speaking your truth, but you know, just being friends with your dad and hearing that's a prideful thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Hey, Jared, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you guys. No. I'm being
I know
serious.
he's
I'm
about
not
to say
gonna.
something crazy.
No, Jared. I'm gonna think that you guys actually have things much harder than we did coming up because you guys now have social media and things that stay online forever.
Oh yeah.
You know, your dad and I, Marcus, we got away with a lot of shit that nobody knows
You be
about.
locked
and they
up.
would
You be
never
locked
know
up
about
right
that.
now. The social media was
Exactly.
that's
You know,
available to
but
the
the
world.
thing is, we could lie to our kids and says, "I never did shit like that," or "I didn't do that." Now you can't get away with that. You have a kid, that shit's online. Guess what? Oh, you didn't do that, Dad? That's you right there.
I was very conscious when I was, being a presence online. In the beginning, I wasn't, and I think I was telling Jaron and Mark knows, from the green room to what was the 2.0, 1.0, last laugh, like the legacy internet radio. For all, Jay is wild. He is off the rails. And at some point, I said to myself, hold on. It's not just my ego and me. It's like the people can see me. And I used to say I cared nothing about my audience. I remember specifically saying, it might have been you, Marcus, or it might have been Lisa P. He was like, well, what about the audience? Don't you want your audience? I don't give a F about the audience.
I said the same thing. I just said it differently. Unless you used to get upset with us when we would say that.
Yeah.
You know, you would say it in your way. I would say that I have to be authentic. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it how I'm going to say it. And the people who want to be here are going to be here.
Right.
You know.
So I don't know. I definitely am not the same way. If anybody is the same person, any man or person, I'm not going to just say a man, but any person that's the same person from 17 to my age now,
you done wasted your life.
You done wasted your life. Like you should definitely grow. You should definitely find yourself. Find what, and this is what I impart to my sons is. Find what is your passion, because that's what's going to find yourself first, and then find what your passion is, because we all going to go to a 9 to 5, right? We all got to make money in this, until
my winning numbers come up.
Until we come on 6 with your funky ass.
I played the lottery today.
Yeah, so until then, and see, I was telling, I was saying, like, in my experience, and once you get to be our age, and this is what you might want to hold on to your emotions on this one, Mike, because when we was at your Mimi's, my mom's homegoing, there was a running bet on between him and Corey on when I was going to break down.
No, they
had a bet.
That's some messed up stuff, man.
No.
Defend yourself.
That's some messed up stuff, my Rams brethren.
That was not the case. It's just that we know your dad is an ugly crier. If there's such a thing, but he looks like a slave, and it's like,
hey man, that's my dad, man. That's my dad.
Let's just stop crying, motherfucker. You look so damn ugly when you cry.
Who got a pretty or a handsome cry?
No, your shit is ridiculous.
The fuck was that? Do that in the camera again.
Look like
of mice and men.
What the fuck? You look like Popeye having a conniption.
Yeah. Well, thank you for how you say, Bob? It be your own people calling you out.
Yeah, strangers ain't gonna do
you brought it up.
No, I brought it up for a reason.
No, we didn't have a bet on when you was gonna lose it. I just said Jay gonna lose it, and that was it. And you shouldn't lose it. That was your mom.
Yeah, but when Here's why I brought it up. There are certain transitions in life that happen, and each man, I'm gonna say man because it's full man here. I'm sorry, ladies, it's full man here. So there's something that's gonna tap. I call it. I don't know what to call it, but something gonna tap you on your shoulder and say, "Hey, man, you need to get it together, get it right."
Yeah, I went through that.
Yeah, and the perspective that you come into life with, based off of your past experience, and then that moment happens, whether it's your mom transitioning, or you lose a job, or you come into money, or somebody stab you in the back, or
you lose money.
It just tests the oomph of a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it's that throughness, or how you deal with that, is like that. How you deal with that transition gives you kind of like the breakthrough or the key. So I remember during that time, Mark said, "Hey, man, do me." He didn't even say do me a favor. He said, "If you want to," because I'm still in a seeking moment in my 40s and 50s, right? So I'm seeking, like, I got everything I want. I got my son, I got my wife, I got my kids, I got everything, but I'm still missing. It's a void. And a lot of comments, I told people, like, comedians are kind of weird. We're really weird. Yeah, we kind of fucked up because we need that validation. We want to hear that clap, clap, clap.
Holy Jesus.
I can't get the right one. But we want to hear that clap, but when that clap don't come, pause, we want to still find a way to get that clap. So how do you get that? And Mark, that's why I wanted you to be here tonight. And Mark was like, "Yo, I go to yoga." And the first thing I said to myself, I was like,
do black people do that? I know that's what you were thinking.
Yeah,
Black people do those things, man.
I know they do.
I know, but that's normally what black people
not black people I know. Not no black people I know. Right?
Expand circle.
Amen. So what I said was, I know this man, and this man he's not on no negative energy or nothing like that. He was like, "Yo, Greg, I go to this place. If you ever wanted to," because I don't think you're not a, salesman. He was just like, "If you ever want to, come on through.
Come with me."
And I was just like, "Shit, man, shit is bad over there. I'm smoking 8 blunts a day." I'm like, "God damn, I gotta go."
But the thing is, that's why, like, every time I've seen Marcus, he's always been just a good mood, even keel, not stressed. I've never seen the brother angry.
Not Office Square. I seen him Office Square.
I would hate to see him angry, because it's the quiet ones.
Yeah, it's the quiet ones that get you. I've seen him off his shit before.
I've never seen it. He's always been just mellow, good mood, positive vibes. So I can see why he's got good things coming to him, because he brings the energy.
Grizzly see me almost punch somebody in the face though. So I'll tell all this shit out. Mark, like, don't let the yoga fool you.
Yeah, Mark will fuck all this shit up.
Look, Grizzly see me almost punch somebody in the face before.
And walk off like George Jefferson, like shit ain't happening.
So, but I guess it's really about making a choice, right? One of the words that we use in the practice is intentional. You have to be intentional. Once you decide what you want, then you have to do things intentionally that lead you to get to what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that is something tangible, something money bound, you maybe got to work a little extra, maybe you got to do something strange for a little change, whatever you got to do to get to that, right? So for me, it was always me looking for something. For a long time, I was looking for something. I would study all the religions, Nation of Gods and Earths, and Buddhism, and you know, when Grizzy and I began our friendship, I was a voracious reader. I always had a physical book with me all the time. I was always reading something. Of course, by the time we started doing radio together, I didn't have time for that no more. So it's Grizzy's fault that I don't read as much as I used to. It is directly his fault. But like, I just was looking for
You
something.
got a lot of books.
I have several libraries in my house.
Yeah, you got.
I got libraries in multiple rooms in my house. So getting to the point, during the course of doing radio, you know, I did it for 12 years, from 2011 to 2023. I'm retired, but you know, if an opportunity arises, I would be happy to do quick hits. But I met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And one of the people that I met was a woman named Ashley Williams, who had just started teaching yoga and that sort of thing. And I was years away from ever even thinking about it. But I remembered her. Remembered her.
Is it the same Ashley we talked? I know Ashley.
I'm on. Not Ashley. It's a different Ashley.
Okay, never mind.
But then, you know, I also was good friends with someone who was doing yoga regularly, my sister Shayna. And she would always tell me, you should come. I'm like, nah, ain't my thing. Nah, I don't want to do that. But then in 2019, I saw that Ashley had done created a company, and he was doing yoga in the park. And I was like, word, I could do that. You know, let's see. I remember her from the station years ago.
Right.
Years ago.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I enjoyed space. I enjoyed being outside. I enjoyed being with people. I enjoyed being on my mat, not having to talk to those people. You know, I found that my body was already intuitively moving. Like, so when you saw me outside, we were joking about when you saw me outside a few minutes ago before we went, you know, to tape here, I was just dancing and moving because that's what my body does anyway, intuitive.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just started doing it, and then like personal events and world events started happening, and as they were happening, it began to stress me out more. I'm on radio, and I'm tasked with having to talk about Donald Trump all the time and the world and all of the other things that come with that. But then I would go and do yoga, and I was feeling good when I was there, and I was feeling really good. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna spend more time doing what makes me feel good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna look different for different people. Everybody's not coming to yoga. But if what makes you feel good is something that you have access to and it's not harming nobody, lean into that.
Lean into it.
Lean
Amen.
into that.
That's the part that I'm glad you say that. I'm glad the audience gets to hear that. And that's what I want. That's what I talk to you about. And that's what I talk to my other sons about. Is like, you got to find, the sooner you find that, the better off, or whatever happiness you're seeking or whatever void you're seeking, you'll be better off for that. Because you don't want to wait. You know, I think, you know, I'm going to say I saw my mom and my elders sacrifice so much and miss out on so much and wait so long because they were so busy tending to everybody else.
Well, I think that's also because back then, for us black people, we did not put much emphasis on mental health. It was always a stigma, you know, to it. You know, now it's more open, you know, where, you know, and I'm a big proponent of it. I actually sought, you know, counseling when I lost my mom, you know, because the stuff I was doing, I was going down a dark road.
I think I told you, I don't know if I told you this. I think I did though. I said I felt bad that I wasn't there for you when that happened because we were all young. It was just like,
yeah, we were, man. You don't have to feel bad about that, man.
Yeah, man. I was just like, damn, I should have been there for my brother, but I knew you had brothers that was there for you.
Yeah. So, no, it's nothing but, you know, just mental health. Stay on top of it because your mental health affects all your other health. You know, a lot of people don't realize it, but it does. Your mental health, you know, deals with your immune system, your physicality, everything. You know, so you gotta stay on top of it. There's no shame in it. You know, so many brothers are so ashamed to admit they got a problem. Man, forget that. Hey,
Yeah, I know. You ain't gotta tell me. We're still in the month of June, and so I did an episode 96. Go back in the archives at Taking No Shorts Pod, and where you find your favorite podcast about June being Mental Health Awareness Month, and the homie B shared a story about a lady. She was suicidal, and he was like. The way he explained it, and you got to go back to the episode, so I'm just giving y'all a quick synopsis on it. For her reaching out to him saying that she was suicidal, he had to call. That's how bad it was. Like, he had to call somebody because that's a lot to know. That's a lot to hold on to know that Tim outside punching cars.
Yeah, you know them days.
It's hard to know that man is out there fighting. R. Kelly said, "Y'all got me fighting for my life." I was this bitch.
I was really out there punching people's cars.
You know what I mean? But
I remember that. That was funny.
I'm just saying, like, you don't know because we bottle a lot of stuff. We bottle a lot of stuff in, and as men, we're not allowed to. Hold on, I got it. Thank you, Jesse Victoria.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, you got a new one.
That's from the Terminator. God damn it, you remember that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, when you come up, and here's what I've learned, is that's not healthy. When you come up in a world where the world say you don't have time to bleed, well, people get finger cuts. What am I supposed to do? You know, and that's a hard way to wrap your world around it. So I'm gonna before I take my first break, I'm gonna piggyback back around to this conversation me and my wife had in the kitchen. And I was just like, yeah, I ain't the same person that at 17 when I had my firstborn. I'm not the same person at 27, 10 years later, 37, 47, etc. Like, there is this process, and the process that I'm at now is like, it's clicking. It's like, ding! You know, and maybe it's because, hey, you don't want to get the 3 count, you know, you don't want to get counted out, you know, you don't want the referee's hand to tap, and that person, that, you know, somebody else's hand is getting raised before yours. You know, I want my hand raised. You see, you dig what I'm saying? I respect you, Booker, man. Thank you. I want my hand raised. And before it's all said and done, because spirits don't go nowhere. The physical will go wherever. Y'all can burn me up as far as I can. But y'all gonna know I was here. All right, first break here, Taking No Shorts Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Grizzly Grant, a.k.a. Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone. When we come back, I got my homie Marcus J. I got my firstborn, Jerry Michael. And I got Goldie. I got fake Goldie Goldie over here. We're going to get to start the tripping here, Taking No Shorts. Right back. Hold on. Where's my ad?
Thanks for taking the time out to listen to Taking No Shorts podcast. We'll be right back in just a few.
Taking no shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzly.
Yeah, so we can get all of that extra stuff out the way. This is the second half of Taking No Shorts podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Yes. Good. I'm so good. Hello. Taking No Shorts Podcast, episode 97. I'm your host, Jay Grizzly Gray, a.k.a. Mr. League No Heat on the Biz Zone. Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. But also, I try to put it every Friday around 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the following channels. That's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Takin No Shorts Pod. That's spelled TakinNoShortspod. Thank you, Arigato. And can somebody tell me another language for thank you? Gracias. Dankeschön. Who said Dankeschön? Yeah, there you go. I have 3 other great black men here for the month of June and June. Shout out to anybody that talk like that.
Honey, I'm sorry. I'm being stupid, man.
Trust me. Whoever understood, if it reaches them,
I don't know what language that was,
but they know what it is.
them.
If it reaches them, Papua New Guinea or somewhere, it's getting there. Yeah, I did all the intro. I did that. So let me get to this. The second half, y'all know the second half it may go off the rails, but I'm trying to keep it together. All right. So let me go ahead and do the introduction. So the first introduction I have, because he's number one, he rocking his Tracy McGrady today. He also is hoping that for the first time, his basketball team. This is what I learned as a black Gen X dad, having being a young black father. Let them young niggas do what they got to do. Like let them have it. Like let them have it. Because I fuss and complain. Like why? How could you be not a Knicks fan? I actually took you to Madison Square Garden. Like I actually walked.
Reggie Miller.
The year that happened, you was living in New York. Like I don't. But see, you was like a kid.
That's why
No,
he's not
I
a Knicks fan,
you.
because he saw him play.
So in 1998, for my 9th birthday.
I'm talking 94 though.
No, this is how I became a Pacers fan though.
Okay. So
1998. 1999.
Look how many I'm all going
in Germany.
All right, so you was out the country.
We finally got the Eastern Conference Finals late that year.
Oh, so overseas, so you got to explain to the audience. So look right there and tell the audience.
So we lived in Germany, so we got things late. So games, movies, and stuff like that, we didn't get it exactly when it happened. So the Eastern Conference Finals probably happened in May of '98. We got the actual games in June around my birthday. So around my birthday, I wasn't always the biggest Michael Jordan fan, but
we don't.
I saw this guy shooting, and I think it was either game 2 or game 3.
He's shooting the lights off. Reggie Miller, he
pushed it to 7 games, and Jordan really didn't go to 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, by the way, except for that one time against Reggie Miller. And that's how I became a fan. The man is the greatest shooter ever.
And you
never respected Steph Curry.
Yeah, but you still don't have a Reggie Miller jersey.
No,
the 31, and we've tried to
it was one on eBay.
Procure that. It's a hard. It's like and tell the audience why there's no Reggie Miller jersey.
Reggie Miller doesn't license his name out to the people that make jerseys, so it's kind of hard to see.
He also crypto
past the point of getting a Reggie Miller jersey that was made when he retired in 2005. So you would have to either get like a old jersey from back then, the champion, the swingman,
the old nasty looking Pacers with what's Chuck Person on the team.
No. I wanted the pinstripe, the one we had in the late '90s. Right. There was one on eBay.
I know. Being short of Tim bringing you.
Joe, I want Jaron to clear the air on how he became a Rams fan, because
I feel some kind of way on
your
that
dad
shit.
keeps blaming me.
Yeah,
but please, Jaron, clear the air.
It is his fault.
No. I thought we talked about this.
No,
we talked about this 1,000 times.
That nigga's tripping.
So the story I used to tell people, and it's still true, I saw Kurt Warner play in NFL Europe.
Oh, the fact.
The real reason I became a Rams fan is Corey brought me a hat, a St. Louis Rams hat in 2001.
The same Corey we talked about off air, that's Fugazi?
I didn't start watching football until 2001. I jumped on the bandwagon because they won the Super Bowl, but I did not become a fan because of Tim. I didn't even know Tim was a Rams fan. See? Corey brought me that hat. We went to
I'm still gonna piss on anything y'all win.
And ever since then, I want to say since the 2001 year where we lost to the Patriots, I've been watching them faithfully.
Yeah, sure.
And tell them, we just won the Super Bowl. 2021, 2022 champions.
Shut up.
That's right.
Hey,
most definitely.
Because I know if the invite went out, your black ass wouldn't have showed up. So we was definitely talking about your roly-poly ass.
No, so now you can blame him instead of me now, right?
Corey is.
Yeah, now Corey, you are to blame. Carlton Banks, you are to blame for my son being LA Rams fan. That's the first time I've ever heard that. I've always blamed him.
I don't tell people that story too often. I did see Kurt want to play in NFL Europe, so that is true.
Yeah, Frankfurt Galaxy.
I didn't start watching football until 7th grade, which was the year we lost to the Patriots in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So when Corey bought me that hat, I was like, this is my team.
That means that, Carlton is a good friend. So for him to do that, it's like a dichotomy. Like, I'm like, okay, thank you, Corey. Yeah,
thank you, Corey.
Whole ass. Suck the whole ass. Next over here is the other cohort, a man that I have been great friends with probably since 1987 or 88. He was riding a moped down Carey Street in the hood when niggas was walking and getting bus passes and shit, right? And the motherfuckers was like, yo, how is this little light-skinned motherfucker riding a moped? What you had, a pooch?
Cobra Pooch. Yes, sir.
You got a Stages, didn't it?
Two-wheel travel.
Yeah, motherfucker! I can't take it up. I had a bike and I walked. So in the 80s, you see somebody, we know you wasn't pushing what we call pushing back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to
back then. Yeah, no.
You don't want to.
That's a different show.
Yeah, but I was like, then I go to Union. My sisters, all three of my sisters went to Upward Bound at Union in '88.
Yeah.
Oh, why you? Yeah, you almost about to get hit with this spike.
It was just a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. And I go to Union and I see this same cat up at what was the we got another Union out here. What was the ladies' dorm on the backside closer to Hammond in the backside of Brook?
Newman or McVicker?
McVicker.
Yeah, because I used to drive up on the sidewalk all the way up to the door in my car.
He was the only cat with a car, and these young ladies are like all impressed. Ooh, who is that? Chop your goddamn throat while you smoking your cigar.
Hey, you was riding with me, motherfucker. Ain't like I made you catch the bus.
Yeah, I probably was.
Yeah, you was, motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyway, I call him a light-skinned Alpo. He's a friend of mine since those times.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, light-skinned Chump. I ain't giving you no applause. Just say something, nigga.
I ain't got to put light skin in front of it. Haven't you gotten beyond color barriers by now?
Look, Tim did the color.
Me and Tim were close.
Exactly.
You got a light-skinned son.
Yeah. Well, that's your mama's side of the family. I'm glad I got a little bit of melanin in me.
That ain't all you got in you.
Pause. I do not. Okay. I'm cutting your intro off. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, boss.
For the most melanated motherfucker in the building. You understand? Yeah, Dave. He is a friend of mine since the early 2000s. He is the Shawn Michaels to me. Oh, no. I'm Shawn Michaels.
I'm going to say, don't get that confused again. Y'all had that war before.
Yeah, we did?
Yeah, y'all did.
I am not the Shawn Michaels in this analogy.
All right.
Yeah.
I am.
You're Shawn Michaels. I am Bret Hart.
I am just a sexy boy.
Exactly.
I'm the best there is. I'm the best there was. And the best there ever will be.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marcus J.
That always goes over better with people who understand wrestling.
Yes.
You don't get wrestling, it's like, what the fuck they talking about? But if you get wrestling and you know them, like then you look at us like, yeah, it is kind of like that.
I had to stop myself because I did not want to be Marty Jannetty in this equation. Because I'm about to
Was he the one with the pink?
He went through plexiglass.
He was the one that got hooked on all kinds of. Yeah, he got bad off. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you being here.
Glad to be here.
I got probably about another 20 minutes, and so I'm gonna start off with you.
Okay.
The way the audience offline, of course, if you never sat to this part of the podcast, a lot of great conversations happen off air that don't actually make it to air. So while it's on my mind, I want to give it to Marcus first. I want you to comment on something, and everybody lay out. Talk about a show, a movie, a TV series that people, being that you have an online persona with legacy internet radio, would not suspect you would be watching. What was a show that people think Marcus J would never watch that show, but you were the hugest fan of?
Oh, yeah. Little House on the Prairie.
What?
That is of every television show ever made, of every movie ever shot, of every TikTok ever created. Anything that's ever been put on video, if I had to pick one that I would have to keep and give everything else back, it would be Little House on the Prairie. If you told me I couldn't watch nothing else ever again, that means I can't watch Martin, I can't watch the Jeffersons,
Wait a minute.
I can't watch Sanford, I can't watch Young and the Restless, 24, Law and Order. I can't watch none of that. I can only pick one. It's Little House on the Prairie.
So allow me to dig a level deeper, and for the audience, who may not know what Little House on the Prairie is, explain to them what that series was all about. It's a TV. Please.
Well, it's a series of books that was written by Laura Ingalls Wilder. She was born in the late 1870s. Her family were farmers, and they moved around the central part of America together. And in the 70s, they created a TV show. It was fictionalized. They didn't keep much with the books, but it's a Western. I like Westerns. When I first started watching it, I'm the same age as the kids.
Which kid was it? Was it the Melissa Gilbert? Because that's
Melissa Gilbert played Laura.
Right. That's the only one I know from it.
Yeah. Well, I'm 5 years old in the 70s, and her character's 10. So she's the big girl, and I thought it was great. Yeah. And I'm watching it as a little kid. I watched my mom. She put up. But now, talking about middle age, like we were talking before, when I watch it now, I resonate more with the parents, the elders.
You perceive that the dad, Michael Landon, was in the series. Michael Landon is an actor, a Hollywood actor, that before he had Little House on the Prairie, he was Bonanza, all the Westerns.
You know what it is, though? It's the family values. Like, if we can get caught up in watching television that is synonymous to how we live, and that's great. Right. But I like period pieces. I like Westerns. I like, family values type shows. Right. I like to see them blow up and shoot and kill and all that type stuff too. But I like family values type shows. So there always kind of was like a moral of the story, or. But
so what is the reason why from a kid to now, from a Gen X in the 70s and early 80s to get you to now, to why do you still watch it?
Well, it's comfort TV now. It's like you listen to your favorite music because it's comfort. Yes. It's funny. Like I saw a study that said that people who constantly go back to the same movie or TV show, they're doing it because of the routine of knowing how it's going to turn out. So it's just with anxiety. Now, I didn't realize that I had anxiety. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I did read that. Like, so if you're someone that has access now, because we got our iPhones and our smartphones and whatever, and the Fire Stick, we can watch whatever we want to watch on demand. So if you have access to whatever your favorite show was, like I obviously do, which you going to?
I'm gonna say mine.
But then, why are you watching it over and over again? That's the why. It's the why. It's the question.
Great answers. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, for the record.
As I sit here with a Black Panther t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm also Gemini.
So you can have that
Hey,
dichotomy.
look, just when you think you have all of the answers, I
got
changed the questions. Yeah. There you go.
My wrestling brother.
My brother. My brother.
So, Tim, T5, what is a show, movie, or something that you watch that for folks who watch Taking No Shorts and the folks that know you or folks that is getting to know you, when you tell them, it would shock the shit out of them. You'd be like, what? You would watch that? What is that one particular stream or medium for you?
The TV show MASH.
Okay, all right. The military, to explain to MASH, because we Gen Xers again, so not every, MASH is going to be down in the streaming for folks to get MASH.
I like the show because it had a mixture of serious topics as far as some of the insanity of war, but also it had a comedy twist, to it as well. So it had some seriousness to it, plus a lot of comedy mixed in with it as well. Not to mention, it had.
Yeah, that's better. If you hold, I'm sorry, pause. I'm all up in you. I'm just trying to get your mic straight.
And it had, I think, one of the sexiest white women of all time.
You talk about Lieutenant
Houlihan.
Oh, Jesus! Houlihan. Loretta Swift.
There you go. She just passed away.
She did.
Yeah,
She passed away. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Couple months.
I remember growing up, but I did not have Hot Lips Houlihan.
But
I did not put you on Hot Lips Houlihan either for Caucasians.
If I had a 2 and a 3, my second is the Twilight Zone, the original.
Yeah, that was scary.
And my third, and you're gonna think I'm dumb, but
no,
the Benny Hill Show.
No, I smacked you on your head. I will put you on because I know you. I will put you on the Benny Hill Show. I would have not put you on MASH.
Yeah, I still watch it now. It comes on MeTV.
It comes on MeTV. Yeah, and shout out to MeTV if you want to get some Gen X and sponsorship. You can hit me up at jgreenradio@gmail.com. But look, that intro song was so depressing for MASH.
yeah, I always skipped it as a kid.
I'm like, who is dying in this bitch? Who is dying?
I never, ever watched the episode of MASH, but that's one of my favorite theme songs of all time.
Great theme song.
It is.
I always skipped it when it came on TV as well.
I would watch the theme song and then turn it on.
Yeah, but you know who Hot Lips is, who?
I know who Hawkeye is. You know them dudes.
And I found out, Tim, that I think MASH was a movie.
It was.
Before it was a TV series.
But Hawkeye and Margaret Houlihan were originals in the movie, and they're the only carryovers to the regular show.
I got one for you. Remember the TV show Trapper John MD?
Yeah, I remember that.
Trapper John was part of MASH.
Yeah, Trapper was.
Yeah, the character Trapper John.
I know that.
Yeah.
So let me get a millennial in here, because trust me.
You gonna say Barney?
No. He had. When I tell you this man grew up,
say that to you, man.
This man grew up.
Talk to you like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him land on him. This man grew up with every type of media. Like he still has a VHS VCR.
I don't have a VHS player anymore. I finally got rid of a VHS player in 2013.
I still have mine.
I still got mine.
In 2013, I finally got rid of
every tape, every piece of media that you could ever give a millennial. This man is on. So, Jaron, I'm going to ask you, it's coming up, what is a movie, a type of media, a TV show that people that...
Ninja Turtles.
That people would not... No, it's different because people who wouldn't know that you was into.
up. I didn't watch too many things that people want to. Obviously, everybody knows I love Ninja Turtles. Okay,
Which
but
turtle is your guy?
Raphael all day long.
Okay, I was
Okay.
Michelangelo.
Okay,
My man.
That's a thing.
It's a thing.
That's a thing.
no, yes, I claim my turtle was very proud.
When I
Me
played
too.
the Nintendo game with Ninja Turtle, and that game was so fucking hard.
Well, they said they made it now. They made it on purpose, so you would have to run it over and over again.
That game was so that, and I was a video game Super Nintendo nerd. But when you went to,
It was like a certain level.
when you got the Blockbuster and you said I want to rent this game, it was going to set you back a good $30, which today is $100. So because you wanted to beat it so bad. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mikey, step over you, but yeah. So what?
It's two shows now that I will say I didn't watch them as I was younger, but now that I'm watching them, that people probably want to think that I love now. One is Seinfeld.
Kramer, that's my boy.
When I was a kid, I used to look at people when they said Seinfeld was one of the greatest shows ever and be like, "You tripping? What is this bullshit? This corny dude and this other dude with his weird hair. What is this?" As an adult, that shit is hilarious. Every single episode, I understand. Every single episode.
Oh my goodness.
Cosmo Kramer.
Oh my goodness! For a show to be about nothing, it's about everything.
George Costanza.
And then my second one, I just realized in my 30s that I love is the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good one.
Golden
That's
Girls.
a good one.
Golden Girls.
That's some funny shit.
Rest in peace, Betty White.
All of them.
All of them
You
gone.
don't got Betty White no more.
That was the last one.
I think
though.
she was winning like
She
2022.
was hanging on. I was fucking with Maud for a long ass time.
But it's the mom on there. The mom.
Estelle Getty.
Oh,
Yeah. She was the youngest one of all
was that
four of them.
Sophia?
For real.
Yeah.
That's
She was
crazy.
the youngest one.
What
of
is
all of
it?
them.
Well, hold on. Was it? There was a loose lady or the Golden Girl.
Yeah, Boo McClanahan.
I was just making sure I understand.
She's always
That's
smiling.
Blanche.
Yeah, Blanche is always talking
That's
about how
Blanche.
beautiful she is. How beautiful. Yeah.
Hey, look, that's a funny show.
It is. I used to watch it.
I watched that show when I was a kid. It was funny when I was a kid. I haven't watched it as an adult, but it was funny as a kid.
Thank you for being my friend.
Those two, and I used to hate that theme song. Whenever I would hear it, I'm like,
It's a sweet song.
So what was it about it
Travel down the
that
road
made you
and
want to watch four old white ladies in a nursing home or room together, share a house together? What was it?
That's curious.
what is it? Channel surfing,
yeah.
country music television. Believe it or not, because I have YouTube TV since I'm in my 30s. And one day I just put it on as I was cleaning dishes, and I was like, "Yo, this shit is actually funny."
Yeah.
And then they play the next episode, and now like every night, whenever it comes on country music TV, I turn it on there, I'm like,
when I think Tim was talking, I had a show. Tim, what was your show? You said the first one, MASH.
Yeah.
When I was that people would not put me on. I'm gonna go. Well, I'm more up to date because I don't know if I said it.
We know it's my two dads.
No. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
Bullshit.
That's the wrong one.
Bullshit.
No, Mad Men. I don't know if anybody watched.
"Oh, Mad Men, yeah,
Mad Men.
marketing and commercial."
Mad Men and I'll say Mad Men for me.
Hold on,
Mad Men,
Pops.
yeah.
Do you watch Mad Men or do you just watch it for Christina Hicks? Because Christina Hicks got the.
Hicks. I told the whole world.
That's the only
That's your
reason
new
why.
book?
No, I told the whole world in a podcast way in the archives. Yeah,
That's the hall pass.
that's how I know me and him.
I ain't a look man.
She bad. She a badass white girl for real. For real. She a badass white girl, but it was the character. It was her character in the joint, but
You see me Googling that.
yeah. But no, Mad Men only because I identified at the stage I came upon it with the main character Don Draper. So when I came up on Draper, I was like, oh shit. He's a middle-aged dude that had a steady job, was a family man, but he had middle-aged man family man problems, and he was a drinker. He would drink every day. Like it was a period piece. So back in the day, I don't want to explain Mad Men with everybody, but
I never seen the show.
Okay.
no, it's back in the '60s. So and it was a white man show. So back in the '60s, white man, you still trying to it's civil right. We not in those spaces and not in those rooms yet. But white men go to work and 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, have a drink and do some business. I have a business meeting and do some business. I was like, damn. I know me and Mark do that. There's a water hole where we can do that.
Anytime you want to.
Anytime we want to, you dig? So
I tell you what, let me ask you a question.
yes, sir.
What's the dumbest movie you ever seen?
Oh God. I saw it the other day. It came on Comet TV and on one of the Smirch Comet TV. But it was a girl, remember Paulette? Yeah, boy. I didn't think for that lady.
Yes, you did.
Honey, do not watch this episode so you get mad about that, please.
A long time ago.
Yeah. But it was who was the son or the brother of Charlie Sheen? Emilio Estevez.
Hold on now.
You know where I'm going?
No, you can't besmirch Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez was in the movie. Fucking Mick Jagger was in the movie. And it was a futuristic movie from 1990.
Yeah, he was a race car driver. Free Jack. Yeah.
Worst movie I ever saw. But I don't know what it was. My Uncle Wayne.
That's Coach Bombay right there.
Yeah, no. My uncle, you from Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
Okay. Wayne came home on leave from my uncle, who's kind of like my big brother, but he's my uncle. And he came home on leave. He getting money, right? And I was just like, yo, I ain't got no car. I want to take this girl on a date. I know moms ain't got no money, and I ain't got no money. Can you rent me a car? He rents me a car. I take so-and-so on a date, and I say I want to go. At this point, we're going to go to see whatever I want to go see, and I want to go see Free Jack.
Big mistake.
Did not get laid.
So you deboed the evening and took everybody to a whack-ass movie? Is that what we're hearing? Yeah. There's some whack-ass movies out there.
So, yeah, I jacked that up. So, yeah, that was the first one. Free Jack. And that's the first one that come to mind.
Can I answer this one?
Of course.
All right, so I remember when we was coming up in the 80s, right? The biggest star that most of us ever saw was a man called Eddie Murphy, right? And his star was so bright that the only place he can go was down. And he did. Back to back to back to back with a series of awful fucking movies. Can I start with The Adventures of Pluto? Motherfucking
that was my answer.
That was my answer. The Adventures of Pluto, motherfucking.
Didn't we do an episode?
Yes, we did. We did a whole podcast. But here's another one. Here's another whack-ass Eddie Murphy movie. Meet Dave, where he played a spaceship.
I did not.
Eddie Murphy himself was the spaceship.
Can you step off?
That's awful. It's awful. And another one, because I want to say this in the trifecta, right? I know y'all love this movie. I know y'all do. And look, I don't care that y'all love this movie. I'm going to tell y'all.
Hold on,
Norbit is an awful
step off
movie,
camera
y'all.
for this.
Norbit is awful. That's an awful movie. I hate that movie. I hate everything about that movie. I hate when y'all do the quotes from the movie. I hate when I see the memes of Eddie from that movie. I hate Rasputia. I hate people named Rasputia. I hate people who I've never met named Norbit. I never want to hear Norbit mentioned around me ever.
You will trigger him.
Fucking game. I hate Norbit. That is the worst movie I have ever seen in my life. And you can put everything on that list. Norbit is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And please don't ever try to defend that movie to me.
It's so bad, I love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's so bad, I love it.
I hate that movie.
Somebody get this man some water.
I got some, but I appreciate the thought, bro.
Marcus?
I hate that movie. Please don't try to sell Norbit to me.
I let you go on, but you cussed so many times.
I know.
Because
you said butt plug on myself. And you kept saying it.
Practice.
All
Not
I
a
said
game.
was
Not
fuck.
a game. Not a game.
No, I just want the audience. I just want to timestamp I just
Not a
want to
game.
I know them words.
Okay, I just want to timestamp.
I just control myself.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be on your square, but I just want to, because I timestamped it for editing purposes, because I'm gonna put it together.
Do what you gotta do. I don't care. I said what I'm gonna say. Norbit is the worst fucking movie I ever heard of.
I didn't think I was going to bring up such a sensitive subject.
No, it was, because we actually did a whole podcast on Never Seen in That Radio.
And I had this energy for an hour.
Yeah. About all the bad movies that Eddie Murphy did. And once we started, it was no stopping.
Oh my God, I hate
I ain't Jerry. What about you, man?
Well, Adventures of Pluto Nash was gonna be my first one, but my second one is probably a movie you've never seen with Jeremy Piven. He sells used cars. It's called The Goods.
Oh no, I never saw that. It was
I
horrible.
literally walked out the theater and I paid for it. I'm a movie buff, but
I can't watch that.
the movie was so bad. It's supposed to be a hilarious movie, but it is so garbage.
All right, so
Hold on. I gotta give y'all one.
what's that? You got one?
Yeah. Y'all might not have heard of this, but it's a movie called The Watermelon Man.
What in the Jim Crow is going on? What is this about?
It's basically, it's a racist
Yeah, I thought it
white
was.
man, but he wakes up black.
Are you sure this is not a dream of a screenplay coming up in your head?
No, it's you can look it up. The
I'm never
Watermelon
gonna look
Man.
at- I want that in my
Yeah.
algorithm.
And the thing is, it's the same white man, but he's just in blackface pretty much doing a movie, and he realizes how black people are being treated.
That's an interesting concept.
And yeah, it's crazy. You can look it up, but it's a dumb ass
How did
movie.
this even come up in the Ram Room? Pause. But how did this even come up in your sphere?
It was on the guide like maybe 15 years ago, and I'm
Y'all
like,
are
Watermelon
clicking
Man.
on the
I
wrong
was like, what kind of shit is this? And so I had to watch it. I'm like, Watermelon Man. I was like, I gotta see what this bullshit is.
I used to do a thing at Taking No Shorts. Back when we was getting guests, or when I say not getting, but first time guests, I would have folks pull out their cell phones and I would say, let me see, so I can introduce you to the audience what's in your algorithm.
I was there for that.
Yeah. You fast forward a couple of years, and because Taking No Shorts has been around since the fall of 2022 or early 2023. And the AI has sped up. If you go through all of my episodes, I continuously talk about what is coming. And so what is in my algorithm is what is coming. You cannot tell the difference now. When I go in and do edits, I can make Marcus look like Marcus and make words come out of Marcus's mouth that he didn't say. I can make Jaron look like Jaron and get words to come. You don't know what is real and what is not. So I'm just asking before I wrap up, are y'all paying attention to this?
I mean, Timberland, it just signed the AI artist and it's up in arms. It's going to kill the music industry. It's going to kill it.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to it. Me and my wife had a whole conversation about this. We had a whole movie. It's called The Terminator. Skynet is taking over, and we see how that ended up.
I talked about the movie. Have you seen?
We're gonna be who's gonna be Dyson? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the way it is, nobody's gonna be Dyson because everybody's going along. But there's this movie Ex Machina. Has anybody ever seen it?
Never heard of it.
I encourage everybody. I will never. I try not to endorse anything that's not helping Taking No Shorts.
It's called what now?
XEX, and then Machina. MACHINA.
Is it a CGI movie?
That's the guy that falls in love with a robot.
With a robot.
Yeah.
But he created the robot. He was one of these techno bros.
He made his own chick.
He made his own chick, and he was one of these techno bros who was trying to perfect it, right? And this is just my interpretation in trying to. He isolated and secluded himself, and he made his own environment and his own community. And he had a chick, a real live human female chick, to help him make this chick so he could program her. The chick ended up, the AI, the robot ended up tricking him. I'm trying to get my language correct. End up getting in the head of the human female.
That's crazy.
That he was like, I want you to help me create an Eve, right?
Yeah.
I want you to help me create an Eve, but I'm a man. So I'm gonna bring the man, you gonna bring the Eve, and we gonna make this thing happen to a better. And in his words, I think it's madness. I think that's what it is. In the essence, for me, and I'm a little bit educated, a lot of educated. And I'm gonna give myself a lot. I'm a lot educated. It's madness that these techno bros and these techno people are doing this. And I'll wrap up tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys' time, but they ended up making an AI, and the AI said, "Oh, y'all got me effed up. I'm not gonna go to the dude because I know why you created me. You created me to fuck me, pause. But you created me to F me because you can't get no, you want me to, so I'm gonna go to your girl or the woman you bought and I'm gonna trick her." And then she tricked her and she broke out into the world. She used the woman to break the compound, and she ended up living in the world as a human, but she really a fucking robot. So I'm not a futurist. I don't know if y'all got takes on that. I got time if y'all want to say anything about it, and I'll shut up. But that's my concern is that the young folks, I'm not worried about him. He got it.
Well, here's what I would say to that, right? Mm-hmm. I remember in elementary school in the late 70s and early 80s, when we would read those weekly readers, they had our generation believing that we would by now be colonizing the moon, right? Mm-hmm. We actually thought, and you guys can speak to your own experience. We did school in different places. Y'all here in Virginia or wherever, me in New Jersey. Yeah. I've had conversations with people in our general age. That's the shit they had us believing. Like True. By now, by 2025, we would regularly
flying cars too.
Flying cars. We would regularly, right? So that obviously didn't happen, and technology didn't allow that to happen. So perhaps we may be a bit alarmist with how this may go. Now, counter to that point, we've gotten very far, very fast already.
Yeah.
So we joke about the Terminator, but that's not really a joke because that was a movie that came out in 1984, and the biggest piece of storyline that's pertinent to this conversation came out in 1991, T2, when you recognize that the robots that they created turned on them and destroyed the world. So, look, you would sound crazy and conspiracy theorist if he was really touting that in 2025 America or anywhere in our current world. But I think it's a very alarming thing to see the capabilities of AI already, how it can pirate your appearance and your voice, and it can make it appear that you did and said things that you didn't do and say, and that can create a lot of turmoil and strife for a lot of people.
Right. And there was also a report that one company's AI programming actually learned how to lie.
Yeah.
So that's even more. So you're not even in control of this software that's supposed to help, save whatever. But now on that, you're talking about eliminating a lot of people's jobs as well. So you're going to have countless people like in customer service industries and all those kind of things, because now you got a computer that can just mimic their voice and answer your questions and do whatever. Now, whether you get the right answer or not, who knows? But it's not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be used for a good thing, but
it's only good for the people that are in control of it and are the inventors of it because they're making the money off of it. But it's always the less fortunate that are going to end up paying for it. They're the ones that are going to be losing their jobs.
Folks that don't have the access and all that. You'll have the last take, number one.
Well, for AI, for me, I don't mean to sound like I'm a little bit, obvious, but I can tell when something's AI right now. It's a little bit easier for me. I was watching a clip of somebody the other day was talking about Dr. Sebi and his stuff. And when I was watching, I was like, this is AI. This is clearly AI. This isn't real. What I'm scared of is when I get to the point where I can't recognize it. And each day, I think I just watched something on Twitter yesterday where it was the first time where I was like, is this real? And that's what scares me a little bit.
You might need to hit the blunt with that then. So
seriously, I was like, yo, is this real?
Yeah.
I mean, you even have it where they're trying to have AI actors now. So, you know, you can go to a movie that's full of just fake people on the screen and it looks just like the real thing.
I get it. I get everybody's point. Mark, trying to balance. You on the economic side. Jaron is like, hey, I'm young enough to know. At the end of the day, because we black men in America and we not running it, we ain't got no say-so in it. So my job is to not even my job, but I just want everybody to like be prepared because once you open something up to the world, it ain't going back. Like when Playboy hit, it's not like Playboy is going away.
Actually, Playboy don't even exist no more.
No, they got bigger porn. It's just it doesn't go away. You know, it just extrapolates and it gets capitalized. It gets magnified. So it's not gonna go away. So the only thing you do is be prepared, trying to cushion your brain and your mind for what's fitting to come. Because before I check out, they hit me up already. Like, you want a side piece? They hit me up with it. And if the money is right, you can literally you could program a computer to be. There's a movie called Her. Anybody?
Oh yeah, for Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. Where he fell in love with a chat bot.
He was hurt when he wasn't the only one.
Right. She was a thought though.
Yeah.
She was giving, and that's an actor, a white actor. Because I'll put the cultural part in it because we have different experiences as black men. So we kind of like peeping game. Like we already like trying to watch out for like pitfalls and stuff. But imagine the folks that don't. So all I'm saying is, y'all, hey, got to get ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. What's that song, Phil?
That's Dougie Fresh.
Yeah, that's right.
1988.
I'm getting ready.
Greatest entertainment.
Yes, sir. So, with episode 97 fitting to be in the books for Marcus J, for Timothy T. Fine Smith, y'all look him up. Oh, shout outs, and then for Jerry. So, shout outs. You want to give any shout outs and where anybody can find you before we wrap, Mark?
No.
Thank you. Tim.
Shout out to my boo-boo Tamia, love you, girl.
Mikey.
Shout out to the future NBA.
Oh shit, nigga, we about to wrap up, goddammit. Fuck all that. 10 degrees, we out.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, gift stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzly.